thank you for taking our testimony. I would like to address, first of all, H1687, a bill to require informed consent for a woman considering an abortion.
"30 years ago, with the support of Focus on the Family and Family Research Council, a committed group of men and women founded a new 501c3 called Pilgrim Family Institute. In 1993, the name was changed to Massachusetts Family Institute, and the organization focused on becoming the leading voice for the family in the Commonwealth. The young nonprofit put on a series of parenting events and was soon recognized statewide. MFI continued to establish itself as a pro-family think tank by publishing research pieces on gambling, out-of-wedlock births, and sex education, and releasing its first Crisis of Family Decline annual report. By 1998, MFI began filing pro-family bills with the state legislature. Quickly establishing itself as a voice in the State House, MFI became instrumental in bringing pro-family issues to the forefront. The 2000s brought a new decade, and with it, new challenges. MFI led a multi-ethnic interfaith coalition dedicated to preserving marriage as the union of one man and one woman. A state constitutional amendment campaign gathered over 170,000 signatures, the most ever in Massachusetts history. But in 2007, the state legislature denied citizens the right to vote on this fundamental question. However, MFI's work led to 30 states passing state constitutional amendments to protect marriage. As a result, MFI emerged as a bellwether source for national media coverage on the battle for marriage. MFI President Chris Minow appeared on Fox News, NBC, CBS, and ABC News networks.
This judge has found that there's no reason whatsoever for marriage to be defined as a man and a woman. He's totally abrogated 10,000 years of recorded history for all cultures and all societies.
Strong reaction in Massachusetts to a court ruling.
By this time, MFI had become the media's go-to organization in Massachusetts on all conservative family matters.
Well, what it does, in my view, is it takes the policy from utterly insane to merely inane.
Andrew Beckwith, thanks for being with us here on the Howie Carr Show.
Thanks for having me on, Howie.
In 2008, MFI held its first lobby day at the State House with over 100 budding activists in attendance, each learning methods on how to lobby their legislators.
Abortion debate, as you mentioned, has been sweeping across the country, and today Massachusetts was front and center.
MFI lobby days are now drawing more than 500 people to each event. Not satisfied with legalizing so-called same-sex marriage, the LGBT movement began relentlessly promoting transgenderism, culminating in the 2016 bathroom bill.
An anatomical man could go into the women's room and they can just kind of hang out there and nothing can be done to prevent them from doing that.
When I first heard about this law, I confess I was very burdened. And I was burdened because I teach a certain message in our church from the Bible.
MFI quickly pivoted from the State House to the courthouse, helping churches file a federal lawsuit which reversed the state attorney general's edict that houses of worship must now allow men in their women's-only spaces.
After review of the lawsuit, the Attorney General's office willingly exempted churches.
4 years later, in 2020, MFI turned back an even more aggressive attempt by the state to interfere with churches by implementing discriminatory lockdown policies.
Saying that these are places that attract large gatherings.
It was absolutely amazing that there was 6 cop cars up the street, 6 cop cars down the street, undercover cop cars all around the church. Then exactly at noontime, the mounted police walked in front of our church with their horses, and I thought, wow.
MFI gathered over 500 pastors and filed 2 federal lawsuits to successfully defend the church and our right to worship as essential.
Massachusetts Family Institute jumping on this and putting together the resources that were necessary to act quickly and locally gave us a seat at the table.
And they backed down, and so we took it as a great victory.
MFI now speaks at hundreds of churches throughout the Commonwealth. bringing a biblical perspective to some of the most contentious issues of our day. We not only help parents understand their rights and how they can protect their children in the public schools, but today, MFI finds itself working with people to keep their jobs without sacrificing their rights or their faith. MFI continues to fight for the sanctity of life from conception to natural death, the dignity of natural marriage, and our constitutional right to religious freedom. More than ever, we seek to strengthen families in Massachusetts by defending the rights of parents to raise the next generation. But fighting is not enough. In the face of new and powerful challenges to our shared family values, it's time to renew the civic institutions that support our families. Schools, churches, libraries, professional associations, social clubs, communities. As we enter the fourth decade of MFI's mission in Massachusetts, it is definitely now the time to build.